Hello, my name is Theodo르준박, and I am the author of the book Chamsun, which in English can be translated as Sun Meditation. Sun is the Korean word for Zen, so this book could be roughly understood as a book on Korean Zen meditation. Now today I would like to talk about the issue of loneliness. Statistically speaking, all over the world, rates of self-professed loneliness, that means people are saying that I am lonely when they answer questionnaires. These rates of what's sometimes called chronic loneliness are only going up. Health specialists also, through their research and experimentation, are finding that long-term loneliness like this is actually a health threat. It's a health risk factor because it affects our immune system. And incredibly, their conclusion is that loneliness is at least as dangerous to our health as smoking is. So if you're lonely, and many people are lonely, if you're lonely, it's important to understand that this could be a very serious problem. 20th century psychoanalyst Harry Stack Sullivan famously declared that loneliness is the most painful of all human experiences. And I think it's safe to say that most of us at one time or another in our lives have experienced periods of great loneliness. And I think all of us do know how much it can hurt to feel socially isolated from other people. This feeling that other people don't really like me. This feeling that they don't really want to be around me. That they don't want to get to know me. They don't really understand me, and worst of all, they don't really care. And when we feel this, because we human beings are such very social creatures, feeling socially isolated, feeling that other people are indifferent to us is actually one of the most difficult experiences that we as social creatures can endure. So under these circumstances, what can a religious practice, originally Zen meditation, including Korean Zen meditation or Sun meditation, is a religious practice. What can something like that do to help us? And really the only way to know is to try it out for ourselves. So specifically speaking, what that means is when I feel lonely, when I feel that heartache, and sometimes we can even feel it physically, like there's a physical pain in the center of our chest. In the moment that we feel that, don't think, oh no, something is wrong. There's something wrong with me or something wrong with my life. Instead, when your heart aches, go to the body. What does that mean? Let's start with the first element of Sun meditation, which is posture. So if you're sitting in a chair, as I am, just sit up straight. Tuck your chin in slightly so that the crown of your head rises to the ceiling and your spine is extended to its maximum length. Tuck the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth just behind your upper row of teeth. Now when we do this, when we sit up straight with a spine that's perpendicular to the ground, immediately we will feel our head begin to clear. Thoughts and emotions won't seem to hit us so hard. This is the first level of relief that entering into Sun meditation will give to us. Next, let's try preparation breathing. In preparation breathing, you breathe in through your nose, completely fill your chest, wait until it's a little bit uncomfortable, and then exhale through your mouth in a long, refreshing out breath. Why don't we try that together 3 times? So together, inhale to complete fullness, pause, and then exhale through your mouth. As you exhale through your mouth, completely relax your body, like all the tension in your heart and your body are being blown out with your exhalation, like all of your worries, your heartache, your obsessive thinking, all of that is also being all blown out together with your out breath. Let's try that again. So together, inhale, pause, and then exhale. One more time, inhale. Pause. And then exhale. See how our mind becomes clearer, more refreshed. Our emotions calm down a little bit. We start paying more attention to where we are rather than all of these troubling thoughts that tend to overwhelm us. From here, we go on into the main breathing technique of sun meditation, which is abdominal breathing. In abdominal breathing, we're only going to breathe through our nose, and we breathe very gently, very quietly. So when we inhale through our nose and push out our lower belly, our abdomen, as if the air is going down there and filling it up like a balloon. The air is not actually going down there, but it feels like it is, and that's why we call it abdominal breathing. So we breathe in through our nose, fill up our belly, and when our belly feels about 80% full, we pause, and then we exhale through our nose, and as we exhale, we squeeze in our lower belly. We pull our navel back in toward our spine as if we're squeezing the air out of there, and exhale for a longer out breath. So we breathe in for 2 to 3 seconds, pause for 2 to 3 seconds, and then breathe out longer for 3 to 4 seconds. So let's try that together. So together, breathe in. Pause, and then breathe out. Notice and observe the effects of this posture, this breathing technique on both our mind and our body. Once again, breathe in. Pause, and then breathe out. Originally, this breathing technique is called Dantian breathing. Dantian means energy center, and it's a breathing technique invented by the ancient Chinese. And when we do Dantian breathing, what we do abdominal breathing, but we breathe in and we imagine that we're breathing in the qi, or life energy of the universe. And when we pause, that life energy saturates us and heals us. And then we exhale and we return to the universe that which we don't need. So why don't we try it that way? So when we breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in the qi, or life energy. Pause and imagining that it's filling every single cell, and then exhale. And simply return to the universe that which you don't need. Let's try it now. So together, breathe in. Pause. And then breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Pause, and then breathe out. This posture and this breathing stabilize us so that we can enter into formal sun meditation. And this brings us to the final element of sun meditation, which the dogs obviously are very interested in. But anyhow, back to our meditation. So the final element is thought. And the way we do this is we breathe in, pause, and then when we breathe out, we're going to say in Korean, 이모고. Now I know if you're an English speaker that might sound a little strange to you, but I'll break that down for you. The first syllable E, Y-I, pronounced like the middle E sound in the word seed. E means this. The second one is muot, and that's a little bit weird to pronounce for an English speaker. That's M-W-O-T. Once again, M is in mother, W-O-T, and that means what? And then go is G-O, like the English word go and come, and that means is. So this whole question means, what is this? What is this thing inside of me that operates my body? What is this thing inside of me that feels my emotions? When I'm lonely, there's something inside of me that feels the sorrow of loneliness, that even panics at the feeling of isolation that loneliness brings. What is this thing? When I think I'm so lonely, what is this thing inside of me that's creating the thought, I'm so lonely? We direct our gaze inward and try to find who we really are. So when we ask, what is this? We're really asking, who am I really? What is this thing in me that when I hear the sound of my name, it instantly recognizes my name and turns to look for who called me. When I see the face of someone I love inside of my mind, it appears like a photograph on some inner screen. What is it that's looking at those mental images? What is it that's creating those mental images? When we turn our gaze in toward its own source like this, when we turn our gaze toward ourselves like this and ask ourselves, who are you really? What are you really? We create what's called in Korean Buddhism the state of doubt, which is a powerful, luminous state of asking a big question. And when we do this state of asking, this state of doubt, burns away all random thoughts, all unnecessary thoughts, emotions, mental activities, so we become very, very clear in our mind and very calm and quiet and stable in our hearts. The only way to know if this works is to try it out, right? So let's try it out together. We'll call it out 3 times out loud, and then we'll try just a little bit silently. So once again, straight posture, tuck in your chin, tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Breathe in through your nose in abdominal breathing. Pause, and then as we exhale, Imoko. And we take that final syllable goal and trail it to the end of the out breath. Once again, breathe in. Pause. And then together, Imoko. Once more, breathe in. Pause. And then together, Imoko. Now, why don't we try this silently in our own heads for 3 breaths? Okay, so you can put your hands as I do. Take the edge of your right hand, place it against your abdomen, place your left hand on top, join the thumbs together, and then let's begin now. Right now, breathe in and begin 3 breaths of silent Imoko. And so you can see how this sun meditation clears your mind, centers you. You lose that panicking, anxious feeling that loneliness can sometimes bring. I'm no stranger to loneliness personally. More than 30 years ago, when I first began my search for the answers of life, I was suffering from a profound sense of alienation that I think anyone who listens to this video can sympathize with. I felt alienated from the entire world. The word alienated contains the word alien, and that's exactly how I felt, like the world was a stranger to me, something disconnected from me. I felt alienated from other people. Every day I would look at them and think, how can they just go through life like that, like they have no problems? Is there something wrong with me? I even felt alienated from myself. I had no idea who I was or what I wanted to do with my life or what I believed in. I didn't even know what I wanted from life. I was alienated from my own deepest feelings. And so in the search for a cure to this inner state of alienation and aloneness, I came out all the way to Korea and met the man who eventually became my teacher, Sun Master Songdam. And it was through him, and in the course of my relationship with him for the next 25 to 30 years, that I finally began to understand what a true spiritual teaching really is. And I would like to share that with you, what he conveyed to me. And this, of course, is just my opinion, but in my opinion, when you boil it all down, when you take away all of the inessentials, the extraneous outer stuff, at the end of the day, I think a spiritual teaching is just a love letter. It is a love letter to those like you and me who are suffering from loneliness. It is a love letter from those who have come before us, who have discovered true love, true enlightenment, true knowledge, true freedom, true joy, and true courage. And regardless of what religious tradition this love letter comes from, whether the author of the love letter is the Buddha, or Jesus Christ, or Mohammed, or Lao Tzu, or Confucius, or Adi Shankaracharya, I don't think it really matters. I think the content of the love letter is always the same. This love letter was first transmitted to me from my teacher, Sun Master Songdam. And I would now like to share with you who are suffering from loneliness the contents of the love letter that he gave to me. In this love letter, and it was taught to me in silence, but in this love letter, it goes something like this. I know that you feel alone in this world, but that's not true. I am with you. You may feel unloved in this world, but again, that's not true, because I love you. And I know there are times when you suffer from almost unbearable levels of shame, guilt, regret, feelings of loss, outrage, a feeling of being mistreated by the world, a feeling of hopelessness, feelings of despair. There may be times when you say things to yourself in your own head like, I'm such a loser, I'm a failure, or even worse, I'm a bad person. I know you feel these things, and so I feel I should tell you that you are the most beautiful and sacred thing I have ever seen. And I know that there are times when you feel like your unhappiness will never end. But I promise you, if we work together, you will find happiness. These are the promises that spiritual teachings and practices like sun meditation give. And when we practice sun meditation, we can confirm for ourselves whether these teachings, whether the contents of this beautiful love letter are true or not, whether this love letter is authentic or not. So I would like to encourage you to learn how to practice sun meditation. Discover that inner light of your true love and your authentic enlightenment. Discover that light and then learn to shine it on all of the other lonely people in this world. So I hope that this is helpful for you, and I will see you next time at our next video. Thank you for listening, and you may call me Ted, and this is Ted signing out. Take care.